knows about microalgae, but there was three big companies in the world working about microalgae. One is Martech, which is a part of DSM, which is now sponsoring the event. Another one was called Solazyme. Maybe you heard about that company. Now Solazyme. She's now bought by another company, and it is called Terra. And there was another one in France called Algae-based. And I have created that company in France. And during that, the last 10 years, we have tried to develop technologies to produce marine microalgae. And I left that company 2 years ago because I was not happy with the board. The company is on the stock market, and I had some fight with some member of the boards. And I left the company to create Odontella. So maybe you heard a lot about microalgae. And you have heard that it is possible to make biofuel, for example, or it is possible to use the microalgae for the chemistry, green chemistry. But in fact, if you look more closely about the first market for microalgae, which is food, human food, you are going to discover that for the time there is only 3 microalgae which are used by human food. 2 microalgae are chlorella and euglena. They are fresh microalgae, freshwater microalgae. And the last one, spirulina, you heard about spirulina, it is not even a microalgae. In fact, it is a bacteria, photosynthetic bacteria. So we are using only 3 species, euglena, chlorella, spirulina. And what are we doing about food with that 3 species? Mainly we are using that microalgae for nutritional supplement. 95%, maybe more, even 99% of the market based with microalgae is nutritional supplement. And we start now to see the first food, I will say, like drinks. You have an example of drink based on spirulina. That's the beginning. 20 years ago, we don't even knew how to produce microalgae. Now, the name of the company, the new company that I have created 2 years ago, is called Odontella. Odontella, it's the first marine microalgae authorized for human consumption. So, 3 microalgae freshwater, and now there is a new one, a marine one, which is authorized to be used for human consumption. What is the difference between marine one and freshwater one? There is the same difference that you have between freshwater fish, for example, and seafood. The quality is much better. And why? Because of the microalgae. So, when we have started the company, we saw that it was possible by using Odontella to create many different products, like drinks, for example. And we understood that it will be possible very soon to use the marine microalgae in most of the different segments of the alimentation. We are going to eat microalgae, marine microalgae in most of our products. You can think whatever you want. But we have decided to start with seafood product. And we thought, okay, what people are used to eat like seafood product. In France, because we are based in France, we use salmon. We eat a lot of salmon. We are the first one in the world to eat smoked salmon. We eat about 150,000 tons of smoked salmon. And how is made that smoked salmon? When you eat salmon, here it is the same. How we produce a salmon? First of all, still it is based in marine microalgae. Why? Because with the sun, the microalgae, they start the production. They start to produce the proteins, the lipids, the polysaccharide, the colors, the pigments, everything. And then that microalgae are eaten by the plankton, very small animals, and this plankton is eaten by fishes. And what we do, we catch that fish to make flour. We take out the lipids, we keep only the proteins, and we use that proteins to make pellets. And with this pellet, we are going to feed the fish in cages, the salmons. But that pellets, that protein are concentrating the pesticide, PCB, and the quality it's very bad. And not only that, we lose all the lipids, the good lipids, the omega-3 and the good lipids, we just separate and we lose that. And so as we need lipids to grow the fish very quick, we replace the lipids by vegetable lipids which push the fish to grow very quickly. So at the end, from the microalgae which is producing high quality proteins, high quality lipids, carotenoids, what we get a fish which is concentrating all the pollutants and with a very low quality protein and lipids. The color of a salmon is completely artificial. We use artificial pigment to replace the natural carotenoids which are produced by the algae. So we thought inside the company, in fact, if it is the microalgae which is producing everything, the proteins, the lipids, etc., why not to take directly the microalgae and try to process it and to make like a fish substitute. When you look at the profile on proteins of marine microalgae, it's crazy. If you compare with fish, for example, talking about the essential amino acid, you will always get a better level by using the marine microalgae. And talking about lipid, it's even it's incredible. You know, in our planet there is no animal and no plant which can make more than 18 carbon together. But the microalgae, they go from 18 to up to the hydrocarbons, 96, 100. So the idea was, why not to take the microalgae and directly try to work to make it like a fish substitute. And this is what we have done. So we have produced the salmon. The salmon is based on algae and microalgae, and it's a smoked product. And we have introduced that in the market now 5 months ago. And if you test it, you will not see the difference with a smoked salmon. So you can make sushi, you can make whatever you want, you can cook it, you can make salad, everything. So we have present the product for the first time in May and in France, and it was very successful. It is a vegan product, of course, and now the product we start to sell in Spain, England, Italia, and maybe tomorrow in San Francisco. Why not, if we find someone to propose our product. And now we are working in new product. We are working in a tuna substitute. This will be ready in, I guess, within 2 months. We will put it on the market. We are only working on the labeling. And also we are working on shrimps substitute and scallop substitute. I have some, but in the hotel. So I will bring tomorrow if someone wants taste. I will go with the people working with the substitute of tuna with tomato, and I will show the product. So okay, this is what we do, and of course I am very happy to speak about our product, like the salmon. But what is important for me is to explain you that all the chain inside the ocean is based on microalgae. Microalgae are very, very important for the planet and for us. We are completely connected to the microalgae. First of all, as you know, they are absorbing the CO2, the biggest quantity of CO2 that we are producing. They take that CO2 and they make it disappear as they turn it to minerals. Only for that they are very important. They have produced all the fuel that we are using was produced by microalgae. And they start the life with the sun. Only with sun they start the life and they produce all the molecules that we need. And not only that, they have appeared about 4 billion years ago, and they were the first cell which is looking more or less like our cells. And all the evolution was based on the microalgae. So which means that they have developed everything, and everything is coming from the microalgae. It is like the source of like the first cell which was in our planet. So which means that this is connected to us, because our cells are more or less the same as the one of microalgae, and what we are eating and what we need was developed and invented by the microalgae. So they are very easy to produce. They go very quickly. During the last 10 years, my work was to develop a new technology to produce the microalgae for low price and very quickly. So this is down now, so we can produce them for very low price. The only point that we have to solve now is about legislation. In Europe, for any new food, you need to prove that it is good for people and there is no danger to eat that new food. So it's very expensive and it takes a lot of time to introduce a new strain on the food. So Odontella was the first. Now we are pushing a new one. There is a new one called Tetraselmis shui, which is also very interesting. And in the US, for example, no one strain for the time is registered. You cannot eat for the time marine microalgae because of the legislation. So you will have to move that to push the legislation. This is what we are doing and what we are working about. And I hope maybe if you try our product that you will like our product.
So you have your own manufacturing capacity?
No. No. In fact, you have to know that now in the world there is about something like 4,000 companies working about producing microalgae. This was the last 10 years of work that we have done, how to develop production technology. So now there is many companies which are already producing spirulina, for example, and most of that company are not in good position talking about finance, because the market is very small. So it was not necessary for us to go to production. We work with many companies, they produce for us, and they are very happy to see us opening the market for new application on microalgae. Okay, that's a very good question about flavor, smell of our food. You have to know that what you consider as the taste of a fish, of a shrimp, when you have a lobster, you will say, oh, my lobster is so good. Okay, if you come to our lab, I will show you some microalgae. You will smell and you will say, oh, that smells like lobster, that's crazy. And at this time you will understand that it's the contrary. In fact, fish, shrimps, etc., all the seafood products, they smell what they are eating. And the microalgae, they smell very strongly. So we have smell of shrimps, fish, whatever you want. And this is even a problem. For example, we have developed a drink. As you know, the DHA is very, very important for the kids. You know, it goes to the brain, and we have 30% of our brain which is made of DHA. If you don't have that, you cannot study properly, your brain doesn't grow normally. Where is the DHA coming from? Only from microalgae. We get that through the food chain in the ocean when we eat fish, and or you can get it from the milk. Baby milk with Martech DSM is now extracting that from microalgae and put it on the milk. But if you have kids about 2-3 years, they don't eat any more milk and they don't want to eat fish, or sometimes they say, oh, I don't like, but they need every day to get DHA. So that's why we have developed a drink for the kids, but the problem was the smell. The microalgae which is producing the DHA smell strongly like sprat. All the greasy fish are smelling strongly the lipids from microalgae. So this was a problem to take out the smell, and this time to have a drink without any smell, and we have finalized that. But all what you are thinking, and you know from always like a smell of a shrimp or whatever, this smell is coming from what they are eating. Same for the colors. They don't produce the color, the fish, the shrimps. Why they are pink? Because of the carotenoid that they are eating from the microalgae. So if you understand that, for me it's important to try to explain you that, because if you understand all that, you understand how important are the microalgae and how we can use them as a new friend, I will say, to produce proteins, lipids, without any impact on the environment. That's really one of the key. There is two possible ways for the future talking about proteins: insect or microalgae. And the microalgae is a very nice proposal because it grows very quickly, cheap, super quality proteins, good. Yes?
For the food service industry, do you guys manufacture for involved?
Yes, so we manufacture our salmon, and then we propose that to the shops or to the resellers. It's what we do. No, we are not in America yet. We have started to produce, to sell in May, and within 5 months, up to the end of to give you an idea, the first time when we have made packaging, we have produced 10,000 packaging pieces, and we thought it will go for a long time. All that packaging are already over, and we are now obliged to produce again. We had a very, very big success, first in France and then in Spain and Italy. It's growing very well because people like, first of all, our product, and they appreciate also what we try to do to use marine microalgae to replace protein and to try to save the fish. Sorry?
You guys know the time when you will distribute in the US?
At the time when we will distribute in US, the point is that, as I say, US, the legislation is very difficult to come and start to sell, so the easiest for us will be to produce here in US. If we find someone to help us to produce in US, we can sell very quickly. It can take 6 months to be on the market. Sorry?
Regulatory approvals back in France or other places in Europe as well before you sold?
Sorry?
Did you need to get regulatory approvals in Europe before you sold?
No, we need to if we want to import our product directly to America, we need to get authorization, FDA authorization. And it's not so easy between the French and the American about food. But no, it's a business commercial legislation. But so our product is organic, of course. It's vegan. The vegan people are very crazy about our product. When we have presented our product the first time to vegan people, we used to eat salmon. Some were just crying, believe me, just really crying because they were able to have again the taste of salmon. So we have some other proteins like protein peas. Yes. There is no soya, no gluten. We have some oils from linoleic oil, C18. We have several types of algae, 4 different types, and microalgae.
And is that a similar profile to the salmon?
Talking about lipids, it's a very high level in omega-3. I will say, I think it is even better. Talking of proteins, it is a little lower. The fat is similar. The tuna that we are now, tuna, the name is tuna, is higher in proteins. And this is to be fried like a tuna steak.
I was wondering, so in terms of expanding, you're going to tuna now, will you also, is microalgae, is there potential to be using it in like chicken or like for beef, or is that just not?
I am a bit crazy about microalgae, and I have a farm also, you know, from my family, and I am already trying the chicken to eat. They eat very well the microalgae, you know, not only the chicken. But no, in fact, you can. Talking about food, it is possible to think about whatever you want and use. It is a very nice source of protein, lipids, polysaccharide, carotenoids. So it's just a matter of invented. It's, you know, except spirulina, which was known by even by the Aztec. They knew the spirulina, and now we are used to make preparation with spirulina. Talking about marine microalgae, it's completely new. None of you here has never tried the test of one marine microalgae. I can bet that whatever. Except if you work in a lab, R&D lab, and if you saw some butter and you took a sample, but that's the only way. Even to collect the marine microalgae, they are so small. This was one of the big problems. Okay. What else I can say? We are also now raising some money in the company. So if there is people who want to be shareholder of our companies, we are open of discussing. We are looking not for big money, for small money, because before in my previous company, I went to as I said, to the stock market. We raised a lot of money, and then all the financing people start to ask us to make crazy profit very quickly. So that was part of the big fight. Thank you. Yes, you can. There is, I will say, 3 ways to produce the microalgae. The one is in ponds. The other one is with what we call photobioreactors, which is also using light. Another one is by using tanks without light at all. You have a company here called DSM, which is producing oil for DHA, extracting that from actually it is not microalgae, they say microalgae, but actually it is more marine mushroom. And there is the last generation that we have developed inside Fermental, where we mixed the sugar, because they use sugar to feed the microalgae, and light, because with the light you can activate some part of the metabolism that you cannot activate without light. But for the one that we are using, the people, they produce that on the seafront with the sun, and they can reproduce very quickly. Within 2 hours they separate, 2-3 hours. So every 2-3 hours the biomass is double, so there is no accumulation of pollutant, nothing, because it's very, very short cycle, 1 week maximum. Thank you. Thank you.